Hi, everybody. It is October 5th. I couldn't remember what month it is. I'm like, what's 10? It's October 5th. And I was reading through Leviticus, kind of, again, trying to piece together how in the world this might relate to me and finding God in those scriptures. Because it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, but the things that I learn about the character of God and myself and the relationship has really been enlightening. Um, and so I'm in Leviticus 10, basically 1 and 2. And I don't know if you were with me the other day as I was talking, basically 1 through 9 was very, very specific on how to do sacrifices, how to atone for sin, um, sin offerings, guilt offerings, and praise offerings, which, get a positive in there. But I mean, the specificity with what you had to do seemed very clear. It was like step one, you do this. Step two, it's like the same thing whenever I, have a program that I'm supposed to do something. It's like I follow, I open it both. It says do that, I do that. And then I go back. It says do that, I do that. And it seemed like that's kind of what they were doing with the offerings as well. Well, here we come to things that didn't go so well. And I'll just apologize ahead of time for pronunciations. Phonetics is not my strong point, and some of these names are ones because that I have not practiced because they're not the stories that, we hear a lot, And so I'm sorry. So now Nadab and Abihu, the son, see, that's where I was going. The sons of Aaron each took his censer and put fire in it and laid incense on it and offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And fire came out from before the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. Um, And so that kind of got me to the okay. So God gave you real specifics on what to do, when to do, why to do, kind of thing. And I guess this wasn't sanctioned. It's like, hey, I think I know better. God said to do this, but I know better. And I got into this once when I was thinking about Moses and the Israelites going, they just got out of slavery and then they're going to go be unfaithful. And here, I mean, they just went 9 chapters because of the 10th one, 9 chapters being very specific. And yet they decided they wanted to do it their own way, or they knew better in a sense. And so I was, so it's so easy to get on my high horse and go, well, they should have known. But then as I look inwardly, I'm like, you know, I'm glad that I live under grace because I still know better and I'll still do the wrong thing. And I'll still be told exactly what to do and I can still do the wrong thing. So it's easy to get on my high horse and say, oh, they should have known better. It was spelled out right before them. But it is for me too. And, instead of getting burned up before the Lord, I get grace through what Jesus did. And so I'm very, very thankful to be under grace. And, it's a totally different world pre and post Jesus. Um, and it's really wanting to compel me to do more research on what current uh, Jewish beliefs are, because I know there's some Hasidic Jews who are very, strict. And I just, wonder how much of this, because they're still waiting for the Savior, but I know other things have happened. I need to get into my Judaism a whole lot more too, but that's a side note. So I found God today, thank goodness, under grace and not being burned up, because I know I don't always do what I should, even when I want to. And I have a feeling that Nadab and Abuha, maybe, had decent intentions, But when you start thinking you know better than God, that's when things just fall apart. So trust in God, trust in what He says, and things usually work out. Well, always work out, really.